So this PlayStation strategy is quite interesting. They're leveraging their video game IPs for other areas of entertainment. Many of us you've seen games like The Last of Us Part 2. You are even hearing about Helldivers 2, or Helldivers, I guess. The entire franchise getting something along the lines of movies and so on and so forth. And this is something that their executives have talked about in the past. They've talked about how they can leverage these IPs and take them onto the movie screen. In fact, more recently, we heard that Horizon Zero Dawn movie adaptation is in development. We heard that Ghost of Tsushima Legends has an anime series officially announced, premiering in 2027. And then The Last of Us Part 2 has its season 2. Well, The Last of Us Season 2 has an April trailer. And finally, the Helldivers 2 movie adaptation. This is very interesting at the end of the day because, at the end of the day, when you think about it, this kind of lends, in a sense, credence to kind of their strategy to kind of continue to broaden their IP and put their games out there, their single player titles. I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the IP and the way that everything is being set up. I think it really gives this interesting frame of reference as to these kinds of games and the IPs that go with them and all of the above. But something I think is very important here that we need to basically go ahead and point out. When they go ahead and do this, their goal is marketing. It's something that it transcends just a simple, hey man, we're just doing this stuff just so that we can put stuff in the movies. They want to imprint their brand in as many places as they possibly can. This is the fundamental reason why they are in this particular paradigm. This is why they're doing this stuff. And I think it's actually quite, brilliant. I think it's a very, very solid way to continue to go in terms of that. Now, the other side of the conversation is who on how and, where is the funding coming from to go ahead and develop this stuff? Are these things going to be developed by independent movie and TV show developers? What's the funding going to look like at the end of the day? Because if you think about it, right now, PlayStation is in a very interesting and a precarious position. There's a lot of money that is necessary to even make the video games that go with these IPs, right? And so when they spend all that money in the video game side, how do they go ahead and seal these deals down? Are they doing collaborations? Because HBO Max is doing The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, again, this is stuff that can be looked into and found out. But again, the question is, how are they going to be managing the funding for all of this stuff and the impact that it can bring? How guaranteed is it? Because again, somebody may look and say, okay, I saw The Last of Us, season 1 and season 2. I don't know what it is. Maybe they like it. Is it going to translate to them going to play the game? Or maybe they see a, Ghost of Tsushima Legends anime series. There's only one Ghost of Tsushima game so far, and then an anthology coming pretty soon. Is it going to translate to them going back to go find the video game and playing? Who knows? It's a possibility, but I don't necessarily know how they intend to convert the brand imprinting into video game sales. Or perhaps they're not really concerned about converting it. They're just concerned about whenever the shows do well and whatever monies are made from when the show's runners and show's producers actually go ahead and produce those particular shows, that they just pretty much get money in them. That's it. On the other hand, Xbox doesn't seem too interested in putting any of these IPs out there. They did the Halo thing with Paramount. That didn't really work out. And when they had an opportunity to do an episode of Secret Level, the news was that they basically went back and said, nah, we don't want to do it. I think a lot of Xbox fans and, people on the Xbox side, everything Xbox does in their minds is a problem. They were somewhat upset. They were like, I can't believe Xbox, refused to do something like this. Well, you can't blame them. Their show that they put in Paramount's hands basically flopped. And so what confidence have they been able to gain in that regard? In the case of The Last of Us did okay. It did well from its showrunners and the way they were able to market and push things. But then HBO Max, again, they're kind of weird. Remember when it was found out that HBO Max, before, I think more recently during their merger, that they had basically been fudging the way they were, showing subscriber counts and so on and so forth. All that stuff was kind of weird. So again, who really knows how this stuff, is all calculated? Who really knows how this stuff is all put into perspective. But I think the best and the most sound way things can get done is that PlayStation focus on the anthologies, creating libraries of a lot of these games and a lot of these titles. I strongly believe that this is exactly how things would more than likely work out for them with their IPs on the ground. Helldivers, I'm glad it worked out. Like I really do. I really am happy that they got a game that could go out there and do some really, really good stuff when it came down to it. Because when you actually go ahead and think about it, they really did need this one at the end of the day. Then you look again and see Xbox still continuing to double down on their strategy to go ahead and say, you know what? Cloud gaming is a thing that we want to support. Cloud gaming is a thing that we want to pursue. They've even jumped into more cahoots with LG. LG basically, TV manufacturer. At first it was Samsung. That was kind of the nexus to kick off this stuff, but they're deciding that they're going to continue to expand it. Xbox everywhere. This is an Xbox. I think, again, this strategy really does work out for them. And, there are many ways for you to get your brand out there. And Xbox right now doesn't necessarily have the hardware comfort level to, be dabbling into entertainment and, IPs on the TV and IPs in movies and so on and so forth. So this is where they actually have to make, ensure that their focus is where it needs to be. I can't say how, I cannot, understate how important this particular aspect of their business strategy is. In fact, when I saw the LG on a TV thing with Xbox, I was wondering and saying, where in the heck would you even have to categorize, say, something like a fridge? Because there are these smart refrigerators that have, TV attached to them and all that stuff. Could this be something that Xbox could even get itself, going with in that regard? By and large, both companies seem to be working overtime. They're trying to ensure that their brand is very knowledgeable across the board. To me, it speaks that, yes, they want to expand. They want to continue to grow. They're looking at the gaming market. They're looking at the gaming industry, and they're seeing, these changes overall. And if their, intuition and if their approach can get their brand out there, can actually let people be more aware of their brand, who, in a sense, either consume TV or who are hardware enthusiasts or who are just maybe, regular passersby that are going into, say, engage in, hardware, maybe just buy a TV, it really does make sense. And these partnerships, I think, are going to continue to grow more and more. Anyways, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. As you're looking at the CES that just basically, event that's going on and just, unveiled all of this stuff for a lot of these companies, how do you think they're going to navigate through the market in the upcoming years? Is this going to be something that, they're going to pivot more and more into non-traditional means of getting their brand and their brand name out there? Or is this something that, you think they're going to just do very little and then stick with the traditional methodology of making games, making hardware, and continuing to reach out to consumers in that traditional space? Thanks so much for watching the video. Talk to me in the comment section, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.